Good morning, team. It is Sunday today, day 123, the 5 a.m. Squat Club. We've got a nice active recovery session for you today because we don't take days off. We make sure that we're here every day so that we build this habit. We're not necessarily going to kick our own butts every day, but we're going to come in and make progress. So if you want to make progress in your life every day, you're in the right place. We've got a 5-step program here every day. So before we get to our active recovery, we're going to get down and prime our minds, choose our first thoughts of the morning. Then we're going to warm up our body so that we're, getting into good positions. Then we're going to get our active recovery today. And then we'll clear our minds for our most important work. So first thing, we're going to get down into what we call our paleo squat, paleo chair. It's going to look something like so, just a passive squat. And let's choose our first thoughts for the day. Let's do it. Good morning, Jody. Good morning, Jason. It's not too early. It's a perfect time. Once you press that alarm, once you get up, turn that alarm off, good to go. So I want to choose my first thoughts here. First is I am responsible. Nobody is going to, as you're saying, it's nice and early, Jody. Nobody is going to come wake you up. You're doing it yourself. You are responsible. You are making those choices. I will make time between stimulus and response so that those people around me get a better version, not a snappy, reactive atom. I have all I need to succeed today and will focus on progress over perfection. The more I focus on this, the more I learn that you don't want to look at the end goal. Good morning, Kenneth. You want to take one actionable step, one bite-sized chunk every day. Focus on progress. Don't worry about the end goal. Make progress every day. And the last is I choose gratitude. I want to make sure that I'm seeing the positive things in my life and not just focusing on the faults. As a coach, I see faults. I want to correct things. But the people around me don't want that. So I need to focus on the things that are positive so that I see more of them and don't just see the negative. All right, let's get up and move here. So we're going to go through our regular warm-up as we would, even though we've got kind of a nice, easy session here today. But I still want to make sure that I get a little warmed up. So I've got some knee raises here to warm up the hip flexors first. You can see they're written down on the screen there. Today would be a great day if you wanted to just, jump on a machine. If you've got a rower or a bike or something, just get the blood flowing there instead of our warm-up. That's okay. Good morning, Spencer. So we'll get the hip flexors going a little bit. We'll get in some good mornings. Flexing at the hip, making sure that we're trying to maintain a nice neutral spine there, followed by some forward or reverse lunges. Few burpees, which we will be getting in today's session as well, just nice and slow, and then some air squats. So let's start it off, get the blood flowing here a little bit, and we can talk about why we don't take rest days. And the more I think about this, the less I see this as an exercise program. And the more I see it as just building the habit of making progress. If you've been here enough, you know how much I talk about that concept of one step, one manageable chunk, a little bit of progress every day. I like to break our goals down into, hey, what's the minimum dose that you think you could maintain every day? And then just do that little chunk. And I believe that, especially in the early parts of that process, that if you take days off, right, if you break that habit, it's just that much harder to maintain. It's just that much harder to stay on. So that's why we don't take days off. That's why we're here every day. But I think it's important to understand that we're not going to come in here every day and kick our own butts. I'd like to be more vulgar than that, but I'll say kick our own butts. Because you want to be able to maintain that habit. And yes, the habit is exercise related, and the exercise component is very important. But the way that I see it is that, the exercise is setting me up for the rest of my life, making sure that I can do the things that I need to be able to do. But almost more importantly, it's a primer, right? All of this stuff that we do together is just priming us. It's getting us set to go do that work towards our goal. I am all about making sure that the things that you want to do in your life, your big dreams, your big goals, get attention. And they don't get set aside for later. Because later never comes. I was recording a podcast yesterday, which will likely be out end of October. It's a ranching or a grazing podcast, so if you're gonna listen, you may have to grind through a little bit. But he was showing me a picture it was like a sequence of pictures from a healthy younger person, and the person got older and older in each picture until they were dead. And each one of them had a little bubble coming out of their mouth with words that said something like, I'll do it later, I'll start later, or I'll get to it. And each picture, the person got older and older until they were dead, and they were still saying the same thing. I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to look back and say, shit, I didn't do those things that would have been fulfilling my purpose, or however you want to look at it. But those big things that you dream of, you don't want to look back and not have done them, right? Not have at least tried, let alone accomplished them. All right, I want a little feedback on how we're feeling this morning. I know that some of us, the push-up muscles are feeling a little sore. I want to make sure we understand that the scalability here and the fact that you can modify. And obviously on a day like today, we're going to take it easy and just move. So give me a little feedback, and then we'll start talking about our workout here. So next step, we're going to do our workout. As I've been saying, today's workout is not necessarily high intensity. You can see on there, active recovery is our purpose. And we'll go over our 3 movements here today. We're going to go for 12 minutes. We could go 15 if you want. We could do 5 sets. Just let me know kind of how we're feeling, how much we want to go through this. We will do our push-ups afterwards. But let's talk about this. Feel good. Meniscus injury is sore. So Jason, just as I was saying yesterday, if something is feeling sore or cranky, just modify. So find an option that doesn't cause pain. Ideally, that is still challenging to you in some way. Maybe it's just a cardio challenge or it's an upper body challenge, but take it out of the pain, right? If you're feeling pain, ease off. The old saying, no pain, no gain, I think is bullshit. I think it's pain equals no gain. So, Jody's ready. Jody, you gonna do push-ups today? Okay, so let's talk about this. 3 movements. And another thing, I was talking to Jason about this as well. If you want to make today a little bit of a core day, he was asking about that, feel free. So we're going to go slow burpees, we're going to go hang, and we're going to go foam roll. But you could sub out any of those. So if you think that one of those is unnecessary for you, or there's something that's more important, if you want to do some hollow rocks or some planks or something else because you feel like you've got, say a weakness, or you just want to put in some practice, then that's fine as well. If you want to put a minute on your machine in there, feel free. So first one is the burpee. And my plan is just basically to move for the whole minute. Just nice and easy. If I had a rowing machine, I actually have, I'm not going to show you because everything behind the camera is a mess, but I actually have an Echo bike here. And something like that could be a great idea, just hang out on the machine for a minute and just move. But otherwise, burpees, nice and slow, try to go for the whole minute. For the second minute, I'm going to do a little bit of single arm hang work. And this is just because that's a goal of mine, is to increase my ability to hang single arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my feet on the ground and just give a little bit of support. And I'll do a little bit of side to side, accumulating maybe 20 to 30 seconds per arm. But same idea, you can make this whatever you want. If you want to do an actual hang, take the feet off the ground. If you want to do, if you had a stable bar, you could work on a beat swing. I don't know if that's a good idea on here. But some sort of hang, I'm going to be pretty open on this, right? You can choose whatever options you like as long as it's not beating you up. Unless you're not feeling sore at all and you don't need a recovery day, in which case, go hard. So there's the hang. And then the third one, I've got a foam roller, but if you don't, I'll give you some options here. And what I was thinking, since we'll go through this 4 rounds, I was thinking each round of the foam roller would kind of attack a new section. I'll probably get one on the upper back. I'm trying to get a little bit of extension in there. Probably get 1 minute at least where we're somewhere near the IT bands because they're generally pretty cranky. I'm definitely going to get at least one where I'm getting into the chest because those push-up muscles are getting a little sore. And then I'll probably make up the last one as we go. So that's our basic format here for today. We're going to go through 4 rounds, cycling through that sequence. We'll end up having, 4 sets of burpees, 4 sets of the hang, 4 sets of the foam roll. Give me some feedback here. What are you guys planning on doing? You're going to do those 3. You're going to add in some core work. I know, Jason, you were talking about that. We'll get set up here and then we'll get moving. Don't forget to click the like button. Yeah, I'm getting better at remembering this. There are 4 or 5 of you here. It should be 4 or 5 likes. Sound like there are 2 likes. Look, I can check it out. I can hold you guys accountable. But also we have our community on School, right? That's really where everything's happening. We've got our first session tomorrow on School, our first Momentum Monday, where we will break down goals. We'll check in on each other accountability-wise. We'll set goals. Everything you need to do to get there. Okay, no feedback. Then it is time to get started here. I'm going to get the clock. Let's just go up since who knows what we'll do. Okay, music. Ready, let's it's aggressive for active recovery, but hey, let's go for it. All right, burpees first. 10 seconds. Where's that dog? 3, 2, 1, go ahead. Nice. Tomorrow we've got wall walks, Jody.
I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, nothing likely. I've been taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know I will ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain.
As much as these can be unpleasant,
I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been
in terms of their functionality, is not a whole lot more important than burpees.
Name, I just want to be famous.
Or you can build up that capacity.
I don't want that cheap fame, no, I'm not that
the easier
vain.
it's
I
going
just
to be.
want to be greatness.
I've got PT clients in their, this is the last one, in their 90s. 3, 2, 1, go ahead. PT clients in their 90s, and we don't do a whole lot of different exercises because we just don't move that fast. But the burpee is always one. Always make sure that we're getting down and getting up. Because as we age, if you don't keep up that capacity, you're going to be that I'm falling and I can't get up person.
Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than
flows, and I get a little bit of intensity for the day.
Everything that you see
lots
is
of
something
value.
I invent.
You're
And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a bad loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing, don't regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. That energy is like
good morning, Yaroslav. See this? So I'm basically just going to stay on the thoracic spine here. Trying not to roll too much on the spine, trying to get a little more kind of into the sides and relax. Keeping the chest open. I can barely hear you. Oh, sorry. How's that? Is that better? Sorry, I've had the hat on my mic on the hat the last few days. It's on my shirt. Give me some feedback if you can hear that. Sorry, Jody. Thanks for letting me know. 15 seconds. Good. 10. 3, 2, 1. Burpees. That's better. Thanks, Jody. Thanks for letting me know. Belly switch this.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of come easy.
Burpees. That's almost too quiet, isn't it?
Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left
hard.
over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me.
Get down, get up. So simple, so effective, necessary. Yaroslav Spencer says hi. Spencer, what's on the docket for your training today? And 3, 2, 1, hang. That feet off the ground. Yeah. Whoa, the left's not as controlled. I feel like your weighted hangs there, Spencer, with a little bit of rotation. Definitely happening on the left side more than the right. And the left is not nearly as strong. Wow. That just wants to open up. My hand is not as strong on the left. More work there. Hand's opening. 10 seconds. Wow, that's so weak. Incredible. All right, back to foam roller. I'm gonna get on the IT band here a little bit. What I want to do basically is just find a tender spot. Oh, there it is. A spot that's a little soft, a little sore maybe. Try not to be on the joint, try not to be on bone. And you want to just think of this as like a massage. Get in there, make it a little uncomfortable. It's not like T-band, that's halfway, you could switch. That side's not as bad. Oh, there's the IT band. Just modulating the weight with my hands and feet. Maintain the right amount of pressure on there. Another 10 seconds. And then we're back to burpees. And that'll be halfway. 2 rounds. 3, 2, 1. Burpees. I'm gonna read that in a sec, Spencer. What you guys got going on today on this Sunday? I know you're not going to respond right now, but you can answer afterwards. Curious to see. I'm going to be moving some animals as usual. think my dad actually is gonna come out this morning. Force him to help me with some fencing. 10 seconds. This is a good warm up for our push-ups. 5, 3, 2, 1, hang. Good, I'm getting going here. If you're not feeling warm yet, turn it up a little bit on the burpees maybe. If anything's still feeling stiff and sore, get it on the foam roller. I've identified a weakness. Holy crap. What a difference side to side this is. Wow. I gotta do more of these. I'm also getting a little sweaty here. That's not helping. 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Head the roller. I'm gonna get it on the chest here. Those push-ups. I'm gonna angle it a little bit. Just gonna go arm over top. Oh yeah. All right, what did Spencer say? I did max height, depth, conventional deadlift. Partner assisted hip flexors. Oh. Is that was your daughter helping out, or you got a new buddy there? New assistant. 130 pound dead hang PR, 36 seconds. Enough PR. So many PRs. I love the program. I love that you change it up enough that you're constantly having PRs. That dead hang is crazy. Can you do the same on both sides though, Spencer, or is one side far better on that weighted hang? I'm just comparing myself here, and I feel like really, really weak because I'm coming off that thing so early. All right, burpees, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Obviously, I need some more work on it, but I couldn't imagine hanging there with 130 extra pounds, especially on that left side. Do you notice a big difference side to side on that hang? Nice. I look forward to see the partner assisted work. It's always entertaining. How much does your daughter weigh? And do you ever tell her, hey, you got to gain some weight because I need a heavier assistant? Bulk up. One side is a mountain of tendinitis. Oh, okay. So it can do it, it's just painful. Let's go a few more burpees. It's our last round of burpees. Wow, it is. 10. 3, 2, 1. Back to the hang. It's so slippery. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I've got some work to do on these guys. But we'll probably do this every Sunday. You can sub out the movements a little bit too, but I'm definitely going to keep in this hang. I need work on it. 20 seconds. 15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1. Last foam roll. I think I'm probably going to get back into the chest here. 5 devil press. Yeah. Nice, Jody. Everybody loves double press. Are you doing two dumbbells or one for the devil press? 30 kilos. How old's your kid? I thought she was like, no, I guess she's much older than mine. That is rough on the shoulder. right, let me know if we want something else here before the push-ups. 2 by 15, yes. Double presses are so effective. For 10 seconds, but I might just hang out here a little longer for this side. And let me know how we're feeling. Do we need a little bit more? Because I'm happy to, we could even do a little, you know, a little, whenever you can hear me, a little yoga session if you want. Just let me know. First grade, who's the biggest in her class? Yes. Nice. Wow. Lots of crunching happening in this shoulder. Oh. I don't know if you can hear that click every time I go back there. Okay. All right, that's pretty nice. I feel relatively loose and limber. Just gonna close this door. Maybe. I feel like this trim is gonna come off eventually. All right. I feel like the problem with a day like this, with an active recovery day, is now I feel pretty good and I kind of want to work out. But we'll be smart and we'll keep it as a recovery day. But we're still gonna do our push-ups. So let's start thinking about that. Moments clarity. Gotta figure out the order I want for this. Yeah, I mean, our moment of clarity day is just that simple fact that show up every day, right? Don't break the habit, because if you want to create a habit, do it consistently. You know, I just think when my alarm went off this morning, there's always this moment now. And the thought in that moment is, you know, let's be real here for a second. In that moment, my thought process is like, shit, like how long are you going to do this for? Right? If I'm being completely transparent here, there's this like, hey, you've committed to this thing where you're going to show up at 4:45 every morning, but for how long? Because, you know, this is a challenge to get up in the morning. And then once I get up, once I get out of bed, I say, hell yeah. Like that's who you are now, right? You are that person that gets up early and does this. So I guess just some, you know, some feedback that we're going to struggle. And that's normal and that's supposed to happen. But our growth happens in that moment when we choose to accept the struggle as opposed to going back to comfort. So just, you know, just some real life here for you, you know, that there are struggles. I do struggle, and but I'm committed to being here with you guys and doing this. So, you know, in those moments when it's feeling kind of hard to get up and feeling like I'd like to go back to sleep, it's you guys that I think of, because if this wasn't here, like who would know? Obviously, I got to hold myself to it, but accountability is real. And that's another point for our community that we're building, that, you know, sometimes we need a check-in. Sometimes we need someone, you know, saying, hey, how are you doing? Are you on track? So that's part of the community. That's what we're going to do. It's a constant conversation within one's head. So winning that conversation is the goal. Yeah. You know, I like to say that, you know, you're going to build momentum and that these things are going to be easier. And I believe that a little bit, but I also believe that if you see every day as day one, then you understand that you've got a win to have every day. You've got that opportunity to make the decision to either do it or not every day. You know, it might become a little bit easier over time because you build the habit, and we talk about that a lot, but there's still the decision, especially with something like this where you're forcing yourself to get up early for, you know, no other reason other than, you know, you're improving yourself. So, you know, I think that's why it's beneficial to have this sort of group, this sort of team where we we see each other, we hold each other accountable. If somebody doesn't show up, we're going to be like, hey, where are they? So on that note, it is le push-up time. You know how this works. I'll bring our buddy up here again. Actually, I was watching him last night, and I keep wanting to ask the question, but there's so many comments on this guy's stream that you post a question and it just disappears. But I wanted to ask him, like, when does this end? You know, are you able to add 5 push-ups forever, every day? Because if you've watched him, what you see is like he finishes them and he's not done, right? He could always do more. That being said, if you watch last night, you know, at the beginning before he gets started, he starts kind of nursing this shoulder a little bit. You know, he went and got a foam roller and rolled it out and was like, it's kind of cranky. So I'm wondering, you know, like at what point is that no longer sustainable? Or are there things that he needs to be doing to be able, to be able to maintain it? And also, I looked back and he started at 5. So I don't know if starting at 50 was the right idea, but I feel pretty good, so we're gonna keep on it. All right, so if you have not been here on this, and I noticed that yesterday I had the wrong thing on here, it said 56, although I watched my video and I ended up doing 60 because counting is the hardest part here. But if you've been here before, you know what you're doing. You're doing 1 more than yesterday. And I was thinking about this, Jody. If you're open to the idea, what I would kind of prefer instead of doing, you know, the sets of assisted is I would aim to do this same program, but just start real low. You know, maybe start with 1 plus some plank. So what I mean is instead of doing the assisted ones, you know, and do those on your own as well if you want to increase that capacity. But what I would do, so say Jody, you've got a max set of push-ups of like 3. What I would do is, you know, get 1, hang out for a while, do some of that shifting, build up the capacity to hold that position, you know, see maybe you want to get 2 in there, but end up staying in that plank, you know, for a minute or 2, getting a push-up here and there instead of doing more volume of scaled reps. Just my thought. I think what you're going to see is you're going to build a lot of capacity in that plank, and the push-up is going to come up as well a little bit faster, and you'll build that strength faster instead of just building the volume capacity. So if you're open to that idea, that's kind of what I'm going to suggest. There was one person watching that had a shoulder issue. I mean, you could do sit-ups, you could do hollow rocks here, you could even just hold a plank if the shoulder allows for that. So, all right, enough talking about it. I've got 56 today. You've got 1 more than yesterday. Likely I will miscount. At least, hopefully I do more and not less. So 56 for today. Let's get some music. There is music on, it's just very quiet. I don't know if you guys can hear that. And turn it up a little bit so I can hear it. All right, ready? 10 seconds. 56 push-ups. 3, 2, 1.
The pain, live the grind. I could change in my mind. Pick a lane, commit and climb. The only way to win at life. I never miss that fact. Taking big swings, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took a red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real good. How's it supposed to feel?
15, 16, 17, 18.
How's it supposed to feel?
19, 20, 21, 22.
They wanna say my name, but they hold holding back, they wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact, and I don't feel no shame. It's a mood you lack, I go crazy. Nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death.
8,
to be a legend
9,
instead of something
30.
you can forget. I'm living up every breath. I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.
31, shit. 2, 3, 34. I missed it already. Let me know if I screwed up. 35, 36, 37, 38. 39, 40, 41. I'm gonna do extras because I think I miscounted. I need one of his machines to count these. 42, 43, 44. Oh, these are very challenging. I feel like they gotta get easier eventually, right? 45, 46, 47, 48,
Never break,
9,
always fight, never quit,
50,
right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane,
1,
climb, the only way
2,
to win it life, I never
3,
miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill,
4,
I got time to feel, I took the red pill,
5,
life's short so I wanna live real,
56, a few extras. 7, 8. We'll call that 60 or 56. Who knows? Good job, team. Okay, we'll get a stretch in here. Let's see. Spencer, hard work is always hard. 50 pounds or 500 day one or day 1,000. Yeah, exactly. And you wouldn't want it to not be hard, right? What we're learning is that the value is in the challenge. The point is to get uncomfortable, to work hard. Jason, oh my God, did 59 GHD sit-ups at Kendra's yesterday. And then you did 60 push-ups. Did you feel extra abs on that? Because I definitely find that the push-ups are oftentimes limited by the abs. As opposed, I mean, yes, I feel it in the chest and that becomes challenging, but I don't know if it's the worst, like the hardest part necessarily. I think the midline is almost more challenged. So we're gonna get into a chest stretch here in a sec. Jody, duly noted, coach, we'll start that tomorrow. Just finished my 13 rounds of 5 while listening. Good. With what you have been doing, Jody, there, have you seen that they've been getting easier? Because this is what, 7, I know you didn't do push-ups yesterday, but this is basically 7 days in a row for us now. And Jody, as much as I love all you guys, this is 7 days in a row. You found us on Sevon on what, Sunday? Joined us on Monday and you've been here every single day so far. I love you, love it. Spencer, Yaroslav, Jason, you guys are my crew. I love it. When we get big, You guys will always be the OGs. So just pulling on the chest here. I'm trying to turn away from it a little bit. Jason got 60 again. Didn't you do 60 yesterday, Jason? And if so, like, what is the challenge? Do you find that it's in the chest? Do you find that it's in the midline? Especially after those GHD sit-ups. Switch sides if you haven't already. Oh yeah, I could definitely use this. I've been a little bit tight in the chest. Surprisingly not as bad as I thought. But this is kind of confirming what I was thinking, is that not that they've gotten any easier. I'd like to say they've gotten easier, but I'm not messed up, right? My body is not ruined from the push-ups. So I think it's going to be realistic to maintain if, you know, we stay smart and make sure that we warm up, cool down, keep doing our mobility work and our recovery, eating well, sleeping well. Any other thoughts on yesterday's animal nutrition talk? I definitely got some messages about, you know, how do you go and source better food? And it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge unless you go out and meet some farmers and shake the hand that feeds you. You know, find out really where your food comes from. Anybody think about that exercise of, hey, how far away is my food coming from? You know, could I eat locally? We're gonna do one more stretch here. You know, it's the best spot here. Let's do it like this. I'm just gonna put my arms up on the door, on the wall, and then just drop the chest through. How's that? Let's go with that. And just hang out there and breathe. Spencer, I'm not going to hijack your live, but based on your nutritional talk yesterday, I wanted to share my experience with carb cycling and keto experiments. I'll say in the video tomorrow if you have time to watch. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I don't know much about carb cycling, but keto is definitely in line with what I've kind of been learning about and studying. So yeah, I'm curious to hear your experiences and anybody else's experience with nutrition, experiments, or anything in that world. Jody, I excused myself from a bonfire beach party last night, explaining, hey, I got 5 a.m. squat club. My friends are great. They know I prioritize exercise. Hell yeah. You know how they'd be even better, Jody? If they joined us. I do appreciate that though. Bonfire, do you live on the beach, Jody? That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. And you said you're in Connecticut? Is that right? I don't know my US geography very well. I think you said CT. Is that Connecticut? And sorry for my ignorance, but where is Connecticut? I think I know, Spencer. I think you're in California. I'm assuming, at least. It looks pretty warm and dry there. Oh, shoulders are good. CT, Long Island, South Atlantic. I'm gonna have to look that up. So you're along the East Coast though, right? So when you say the beach, is that like the Atlantic Ocean, or are you, I'm probably sounding so ignorant right now. And Spencer, yes, California. Have you always been in California, Spencer? Let's get some recovery squats here. Even though we didn't necessarily hit any crazy intensity, I do want to get in some squats. And then that'll be, maybe while we're doing that, we'll talk about our most important work. You know, we talk about it every day, but I'm never going to stop talking about it, right? This is the time now. I mean, I know that it's the weekend, it's Sunday. Maybe you like to have a, more relaxing weekend. And that's cool, right? I don't see any problem with that. I mean, it doesn't exist in my life because the animals don't know that it's the weekend. But, if you want to take an easier day and enjoy yourself, like, go for it. But I would always say make sure you make that progress, right? Assign yourself the same daily action that will align with your goals, that will take you there if you complete those actions every day, and do that, right? I don't want to take a break on the weekend from my goals for two reasons. One, I'm missing out on that progress. And two, habits aren't built on days off, right? If you want to maintain it, if you want to make it easier to get up every day, if you want to make it easier to, after we do this exercise, make progress on your goals, do it every day. So, we call it homework time, but that was definitely a word that I hated in school. So if you guys want to come up with a better term than homework, I would love that. But it is that time, right? When you guys get out of here and go on to your regular lives in Connecticut, California, the rest of you I think are here, then what is that going to look like, right? Are you going to, get to distractions with your, with your phone or whatever? I'm assuming our families probably aren't up yet. Or are you going to go and sit down and work towards that thing? I would love if you guys wanted to share what your things are, what your homework is. Obviously, if you're joining our community, I'm going to dig into that and you're going to have no choice to share. But, this is really what I'm into, is breaking down goals, defining the steps that are going to get there. And then just understanding that the process is do that step every day. That stuff fires me up, right? Making progress towards the things that are important to us. That's my passion. So I would love for you to share it here. I'd love it more if you joined us in the community, because we'll be able to dig in a little bit more and in person kind of thing, face to face. Let's chat here. Spectacular sunset last night, Connecticut on the Atlantic, Long Island Sound. Sorry, the Atlantic and the Long Island Sound merge there. Sounds beautiful. Sunday is my 10K ruck day, sometime with weighted vest. I like it. Do you have buddies that you do that with, Jody? Or do you just do this yourself? I'm very curious, Jody. Do you work out at an affiliate ever? Did you start CrossFit at an affiliate? Or have you always been doing this at home? And if so, how do you choose these, this program, this 10K ruck? What do you choose? How do you choose? I'm very curious about your background on that. Spencer, yes, always in Zurchistan. You crack me up, man. It's okay. The only thing we know about Canada is it's above Washington and New York, Michigan. Some big chunk of land north. Yeah. Yeah, it's we're a big chunk of land up here for sure, and it gets pretty cold in the winter. And we've got interesting politics. So, yeah, I'm gonna get a couple more recovery squats here, maybe even just a little shift around in there. If you guys want to share some goals, I'll hang out for a few more minutes for sure before I start chores and whatnot. But if you don't, and you've done your recovery and you're feeling pretty good, then it's time to go do homework. Do at least an hour. Check that thing off your list so that the rest of your day is free and you've made progress. There we are, a little shorter today. There we go. Under 50 minutes. It's time. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend. And remember, tomorrow we're going deadlifts and wall walks. So if that means you need to grab some equipment or clear up some space, that's what we're gonna do. I'm wondering if I'm gonna probably have to clear the wall afterwards if I put my feet all over it, but so be it. All right, you guys are amazing. If it weren't for you, who knows? I may not be here. So enjoy your Sunday. See you tomorrow. Make sure you press the like. Make sure you've maybe even leave a comment. Share this with somebody. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Love ya. Later.